Hi, I just wanted to cut in on this video first and to say, because I'm doing a couple videos here on uh, meals on a budget, if you take this recipe that's coming up, save back about 1/4 pound of the ground beef mixture, and then also save back about 1/2 cup of the tomato sauce. Right after this, I'll post this video. I'll post another video that you can get a whole other meal just based on those couple little things. Hi, welcome to Foodie. Today we're going to make Hungarian cabbage rolls. It's a little bit of a complicated recipe. It takes quite a while, quite a bit of prep time. But this is April 2nd, 2020, and we're right in the middle of the coronavirus outbreak. So we're pretty much stuck in the house anyway, so we got lots of time. We did get to the grocery store a couple days ago and got stocked up on a lot of stuff. Hopefully things will last a long time, so we bought a lot of carrots and onions and cabbage and potatoes. So maybe enough to last us for 3, maybe 4 weeks. So you may see a lot of cabbage recipes coming up. So to get started on this Hungarian cabbage rolls, and these are so good, and I love the dill sauce that's on top of them. We'll go over to the stove top. So what I've done is I've fried up like 2 or 3 strips of bacon and then chopped them up into little pieces. And so with the bacon grease that's still in here, and I used turkey bacon, so I had to put a little bit extra oil because the turkey bacon's pretty lean. So what we're going to do first is add about 1/2 of an onion that's very finely chopped. We've got 4 fresh cloves of garlic, also minced, very finely chopped, and 3 tablespoons of paprika. And what I did was I have about 1½ tablespoons of smoked paprika and 1½ tablespoons of regular paprika. And then we can add our bacon also back in. So we're just going to fry this up until the onions are nice and tender. Oh, this is so good. Actually, when I was working overseas, one of our meeting points was in Budapest, Hungary. So we spent the night there. Well, every 28 days, we'd spend a day on the way in, day on the way out. And oh, they have such good food there. Okay, so what I've done here is I have about 1/2 pound of ground beef and 1/2 pound of regular plain pork sausage, breakfast sausage, and I've just mixed them together. So to this, I'm going to add my paprika onion mixture. I'm going to add 1 beaten egg and 1 big full cup of cooked rice. And I may add just a little bit more rice. We were talking, you know, during these times with this coronavirus, a lot of people laid off work. So this is a recipe that can make quite a bit if you want it to. I mean, like I said, I added a little bit more rice. The more rice you add, of course, the more cabbage rolls you can make. I'm going to mix this up just with my hands because there are no gloves in the stores. Okay, that's pretty good. Just put some salt and pepper to taste, 1/8 of a teaspoon. So before we roll our cabbage rolls, we'll make up the tomato sauce first, because we're going to put a little bit of tomato sauce in the bottom of the pan. And you can preheat your oven to 350 degrees. All right, so for the tomato sauce, I've got 1 can of just diced tomatoes, 1 can of 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, And I like my sauce a little bit thick and also kind of sweet. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And I've got a cup, maybe cup and a half of drained, well-drained, squeezed out sauerkraut. So we're just going to heat up that on the stove just to get it warm, because we're going to end up putting this whole thing into the oven. So we'll heat this up for about 4 minutes. I'm going to spray the bottom of my pan with cooking spray. So I'm going to take just a little bit of this sauce and kind of spread it on the bottom. Again, just to help it so it doesn't stick. We definitely want most of this sauce on top of it. All right, so what I did on the cabbage, I cored the cabbage. Show you, I took the core out of the cabbage, and then the leaves, the outside leaves, peeled off very easy, and very nice big leaves. And then I steamed them for about 4 or 5 minutes, so they're nice and soft. Now what we can do on some of these is just cut out that hard core so they fold easy. Okay, hope these are cooled off a little bit. So I'm just gonna take, I don't know, 1/3 of a cup, 1/4 of a cup. And just roll these up and fold them under at the end. These are going to be pretty nice size. So I made 6 pretty large cabbage rolls here, and I still have probably enough for another 4. Okay, so I'm going to cover these down with the rest of the sauce. And then what I'm going to do, and I do the same thing when I make stuffed peppers, I'm just going to make a couple of little meatloaf size little meatballs. Fill up these empty spaces. I'm going to cover with aluminum foil. And we're going to bake at 350 for about 1 hour. And then while that's baking, we can make our sour cream dill sauce. And I think I'm going to have mashed potatoes with it. Okay, for our last step here is our sour cream sauce. I'm only making a half of the recipe because Catherine is not real crazy about sour cream. So I'm using a half a cup of sour cream. You could just double this for your recipe. 1/4 of a cup of milk. And I've got about a tablespoon of fresh dill that's chopped. So we're just going to stir this up. You could add a little more sour cream if you like it thicker. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt. Then when these are done, we'll serve them up on a plate and drizzle the top with this sour cream dill. I may even put maybe a little bit more dill in here. Let's put 2 tablespoons in. Okay, I added another tablespoon of dill. I think that's going to be better. And then the last little piece of this, which I almost forgot, was a teaspoon. Well, I'm going to do half here, yeah. So I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of ground mustard. If you had some like Dijon mustard or something, you could easily substitute that. All right, it's been an hour.
Looks good.
I remember back in the day when my grandmother and mother were cooking. That's pretty clean aluminum foil. They used to wash it and reuse it. We may have to do that now since we're not going to get to the grocery store for another month. All right, let's dish this up. We'll give us each another little meatball on the side. Okay, let's give this a little I'm going to just eat the meatball because I know that cabbage is going to be really hot. Really good. I love that, that dill sauce. And that paprika, I guess I never realized paprika was really hot or spicy, but I guess if you put enough of it in, a little bit of a bite. I like that.
Let me try. I will try the meatball first. Hot. Very good.
A little bit spicy, huh?
Yeah, a little bit spicy. But it's good. I like it. Thank you.
Great. So, here you go. Hungarian cabbage rolls. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to Ed Foodie right over there. Thank you.